professional and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
That's right. This is the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. My name is James DeJerome. I produce the show for Brandon. I've been with him for about 2 years now. Brandon started the Consumer Quarterback Show 7 years ago as a way of bringing his network, his business professionals, the guys he was working with every day as a real estate professional in the Bay Area. He wanted to bring his network out and take advantage of it. All the consumers in the Bay Area could take advantage of his network and all the great professionals he's working with. So we started the Consumer Quarterback Show. You know, it began, as I said, around the home services. We had roofers and plumbers and air conditioning guys, and then it kind of expanded into health and medical and lawyers and lifestyle. So we really have moved the show quite a bit, and now it encompasses quite a few different partners, and all the partners take time out of their day to come in and provide some information because this is a consumer advocate program. We want to provide information that makes you smarter, makes your dollar go farther, and that way everyone wants to promote the local economy, and we certainly want you to patronize local businesses. So Brandon has put together a network of business professionals and sponsors for the Consumer Quarterback Show. The sponsor for this segment is Jade's Premium Quality Cleaning. You know, we talk about locally owned and family business, and that's specific to Jade. You know, Jade is a family-owned business. She's right here in the Bay Area. If you're looking for a cleaning partner that holds COVID-19 certification and uses eco-friendly products, well, that's Jade. And as we mentioned, the idea of family and locally owned is really big on the show here. So get in touch with Jade for all your cleaning needs. She is the official cleaning partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Jade's PremiumQualityCleaning.com is where you can find them. Okay, Brandon is a real estate professional. Even in this time of low inventory, we have real estate opportunities for you. Any of the properties you hear pitched on the Consumer Quarterback Show can be found at consumerqb.com, or get in touch with Brandon directly at the Platinum MVP office. Johnny's going to throw a few properties up for you. We got one in Spring Hill. This is an acreage. This is 41 acres zoned agricultural. It's got access to well and septic. This is 12500 Hamlin Road in Spring Hill. If you want to get into the Spring Hill area, right near Highway 41 and County Road 52 in Pasco, 41 acres. So if you want to start a ranch, you can do what you want out there. You got plenty of room to spread out. That's in Spring Hill, 12500 Hamlin Road. Again, residential, commercial, and land is available through Brandon and the Platinum MVP team. If you want to get into the Clearwater Beach area, 1010 Bay Esplanade. This is a 4-3 with a 2-car garage, private sun deck, about 3,150 square feet. So get in touch with Brandon if you want to get into the Clearwater Beach area, 1010 Bay Esplanade. Look at those white cabinets in that updated kitchen. We're going to talk with Chris Robinson here. He's in our Salem Media Group studios. I know that excited him there a little bit. So if you want to get into the Clearwater Beach area, 1010 Bay Esplanade is the place to do it. Get in touch with Brandon and the Platinum MVP team. He always says, don't leave money on the table, commercial or residential opportunities. All right, in our Salem Media Group studios, Chris Robinson, About Face Cabinetry. We've had him on before. Great ideas about ways to flip your kitchen around, because we talk about the kitchen being a critical part of the house, and certainly the first thing that you see when you walk in. How you doing today, Chris?
Very good. How about yourself?
Doing well. I'm excited to have you out here. Yeah. As I go through the real estate now, the first thing I do is look at the cabinetry in the bathroom or the kitchen, because you got me thinking about the white cabinets.
We have something in common then. That's the first thing we look at too. Yeah, absolutely.
So folks want to save money. They want a new kitchen. What can you do for them?
Well, let me tell you, our tagline is half the cost, half the time, half the mess.
Now that's important, because we talk a lot about every day you go without a kitchen, you got to go out and eat. Every day you go without a kitchen, your kids are running around screaming, what are we going to do here? You can't go too long without it.
Absolutely. And that's the best part of what we do, because we offer alternatives. Alternatives to full cabinet replacement. Typically on a full cabinet replacement, you're going to be anywhere between 4 to 6 weeks without a kitchen.
Right.
And at least a working kitchen. Whereas we can actually refinish or reface your entire kitchen, no matter what size it is, in 5 days or less, including countertops, plumbing, and electrical.
But let me back up just a second, because folks, when you're talking about ripping your existing cabinetry out, you're talking about having to prep the wall and start from a position of being way behind. Chris is going to save you all that time by not having to do that.
Absolutely, especially if you don't want to replace the flooring. Maybe you've even got granite countertops that are fine. Let's say you got some granite countertops that, probably 10 years old, and they look okay, but the cabinets are just this ugly orange, brown, or oak or whatever, and you're like, man, I'd really love to make these look like white shaker cabinets, but I'm going to have to lose all this granite, I'm going to have to do all that.
Right.
Absolutely not. What we do, and we specialize in, if you got granite in place already, let us come in and reface it, and we'll be done in and out of there in 3 to 4 days.
Because that granite's a critical piece and a kind of an expensive part of that upgrade.
Absolutely, and this is a real estate show. Let's
That's
face
right.
it. No realtor out there is going to want to be selling a good-looking premium on a home if they got Formica countertops. Pretty much the new standard is a granite or a solid surface or a quartz
right.
or something that doesn't look dated. Like if you're talking a 2014 Corian, yeah, it's probably going to look a little dated. And you might want to do just a simple level 1 granite. And we've actually got in the real estate business plenty of feedback from our realtors. Like, listen, you saved my deal.
Right.
You basically made my deal happen because I had showings and nobody was offering anything. And if they did offer something, it was $30,000, $40,000 less, where you took me as a small investment, less than $10,000, and I bumped the price another $10,000 and got full price offers.
Half the time, half the cost, and half the mess is going to save you money every single time, because time is money. When you're worried about flipping this house, you're paying mortgage payments on this thing.
Time is money, absolutely. And one of the things we were talking about pre-show is a little bit of the idea, like maybe you've got some cabinet boxes and you're looking at the cabinet doors and they're peeling. They got that old school thermofoil and they're really just not all that great looking. Well, a lot of times what we could do is we can go in there and match the color of your cabinet boxes and just replace your doors and your drawer fronts with new hardware and make that match all the old cabinet boxes. And that'll be even in half the cost of half the cost and time and a mess.
I was going to mention the color thing when you talked about the granite, existing granite. If you have existing granite and you want to move to the counter, he's got colors that can match, so you don't have to worry about having an odd look in there.
That's right. And that's the best part about, we have a multitude of colors. We have 38 different door styles. We have over 100 different colors to match, and different patterns, different glazings. We have numerous options for you. And the best part about what we do when we get inside that house is to be able to see the transformation, because we're not a paint job.
Right.
That's the one thing I want to make sure everyone understands. If you go to my Facebook page, facebook.com/AboutFaceTampa, you're going to see some pictures of a job that we're getting ready to do where they had their cabinets painted. Well, if you looked all over that kitchen, you're going to see spray paint all over the hinges. You're going to see tape that was left behind, overspray on the appliances. It was an absolute mess. They couldn't believe it. And most of our clients, when they get done, they write the check. They're like, "Hey, my neighbors just came over and saw this. They thought that I had the kitchen gutted."
Right.
And I said, "No, we just had it refaced." It was all about the reface.
That's it. That's how he does the half the time, half the mess. One of the critical things Chris has told me about this whole process and how he's managed to make this into a science of saving time is by being diligent in the ordering. Your materials are gathered up front. He's so ready for the job that on day one, talk about day one, Chris, when you show up.
Sure. Day one is a typical day for us where we're coming to the job site. We're meeting with the owners, and everything's been prepared ahead of time. So we're meeting with them, and we're saying, hey, day one is first day, probably going to be putting in your granite countertops. And then we're going to remove all of your cabinet doors, your drawer fronts, and we're going to start laminating all of your boxes, getting everything connected, because we've already measured for that ahead of time. So everything is prepped and planned. Your template for your granite has been done. Even if you change the cabinet structure, we actually can add more cabinets, or we can take away cabinets and adjust your granite and your solid surface countertop templates, so that way when we show up on day one, it's already pre-done. You're not having to wait for it to get done and then get a template, and then 2 weeks later we come back and get it done for you.
Yeah, you can see these projects tend to get off track because one item holds up another. So something's late arriving, so you can't go to step 2 without finishing step 1.
That's right.
So that's why this idea of being up front in the order and having everything ready to go, that's the critical part of About Face.
That's right, absolutely. And in fact, we are at 3 locations, and we're all licensed professionals. There's nothing that we won't do for you that does not require a license. So we want to make sure that you understand that we are licensed professionals. We're going to provide you a written estimate. We're going to give you a copy of our license. We're going to give you a copy of our insurance. We want you to feel totally comfortable when you bring us on board and into your home.
That is awesome. About Face Cabinetry, giving you an option out there. You know, we talked a little bit about renovators, these guys that buy homes specifically to try to turn it over as fast as they can. Well, a lot of times they realize the kitchen and bath need to be done. So the first thing they're doing is this major tear out. They don't necessarily consider hiring a guy like Chris who can come in real quickly and just modify what you have and save you, again, half the time.
Absolutely. And as being an investor myself since 1997, and that's how I got into this business, became a licensed general contractor, started the cabinet company. What I needed was something that was going to be fast in and out. And in fact, if you're an investor and you listen to this program, you go to aboutfacecabinetry.com, enter in your information there on the website there. Let me get in contact with you, because when you get your next property, when the day one you're ready to go in there and take a look at it, have me come along with you.
Yeah.
let me come in there, do some quick measuring and show you what I can do, what I can't do, and what I could do for you, because time is money. How fast can you get that property back on the market?
Kitchen and bath, we talk about how critical they are. I want to just highlight something that Chris just said. He's a GC. So it's not something you run into on every single guy that you're going to bring in your property to work on. Talk a little bit about the advantages you have because of that history you have.
Absolutely. So being a state licensed general contractor, and I'm also a state licensed inspector as well, we carry that licensing to really empower the consumer to know that we got the right person.
Right.
Because one phone call to Tallahassee will ruin my career.
So he's got skin in the game, guys.
I got skin in the game. And so when you hire us at About Face Cabinetry, we want you to make sure that you understand we're not a guy that's operating out of his van.
Right.
Or he operates out of his garage. We have a commercial facility, a commercial shop. You can actually come to our office and see our showroom. And all of our locations are also going to be able to do all of those things for you as well, and giving you that confidence and assurance, your references, your licensing, your insurance. You're going to be able to get all of that from us up front. And as a contractor, most folks think that, oh, well, you got to be expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely not. In fact, that's how the genesis of About Face Cabinetry came about. We needed a way to have an alternative to cabinet replacement. Sometimes the older the better. Let's say you got a house from 1995 and you walk in there and, oh my gosh, it's everything's original. It's mauve, it's this and that, and this and that. Keep that cabinet structure. That's probably a cabinet structure that was made by a local cabinet shop, and those are the best to reface.
Okay.
And in fact, if you have a sink base that's rotted out, we can replace just that sink base and then reface the rest of it.
Yeah, it's not just about refacing. Chris can build cabinets. I mean, that's
absolutely.
He builds the whole thing if necessary,
that's
no problem.
Right.
But he's talking about having a lot of folks under their sink. They don't get down there very often and pull everything out and look at the condition of the back of that piece, because it just takes a small drip over time.
It does. Sometimes it's chemical spills. You've spilt your window cleaner, and you've spilt your dishwashing soap, and it has just caused a huge cavity, and you didn't know it until you pulled it out, and you're like, oh my gosh, we're going to have to get all new cabinets. Time out. Don't do that. If you got a home that you just got and you're looking in and the cabinets look, oh my gosh, they look terrible, and you look inside that sink base and you say, oh man, that thing's all rotted out, don't worry about it. For just a minimal cost of building that one cabinet and refacing the rest, that's why we say we're half the cost and half the time and half the mess. We are literally half the cost on the rim and out the door, with countertops and everything, just what you're going to spend in cabinet replacement alone. No countertops.
Right.
And once you consider what we can do for you, and we show you through our portfolio of all of the different projects that we've done, we just want to get into your home and get into your place of business. And we also do commercial.
Right.
And once we get in there, we kind of see what we got. Then we can start exploding ideas for you. Hey, we can add cabinets here. Or we could take away cabinets here. We can refinish this to this certain color. Or two-tone is another one of the beauties of what we do. We've got white cabinets on one wall, and we have an island that is like a gray color, where you actually can do a two-tone
cool.
Difference there.
What about bathroom vanities? You guys get in there and do the same thing?
Absolutely. Same thing with the bathroom vanities as well. And in fact, we just did a tutorial on that for all of our franchisees. We're a franchise company, and we're showing our franchisees how easy and how uninterruptive a vanity reface can be done. It can literally be done in one day.
Wow.
Countertops, plumbing, mirror, vanity, doors, blind, drawer front, all in one day, including a master bath, which is going to have probably two sinks and two centers. In fact, we actually have one on our Facebook page where there's that space underneath, that center space between the two vanities, where they had assumed that your wife would be sitting down and putting on her makeup and her lipstick. Who's got time for that? I know my wife and my kids don't have time for that. So we have been taking that little knee drawer out and replacing that with deep 20-inch drawers and making that a new drawer bank and leaving that tile floor underneath it, so that way you got plates for your bathroom scale. Okay. Or maybe you could possibly put a mat or something underneath it. And then that just increases the storage.
That's right.
For that entire bathroom area, where you don't have to build a whole nother cabinet.
Well, you just need a set of eyes of someone who can look at it a different way. You're looking at your property, you feel like I've got some options here. Bring Chris in, let him show you what he's as a general contractor. And of course, he's done this for a long time. Chris is flipping himself, so he knows exactly what situation you're in. Talk about why that timing. These guys think, well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to save money because I'm going to do it myself. But then once you take an extra 12 days, you killed your profit margin.
Absolutely. And that's the biggest thing is you kill your profit margin because now you're reacting and you're not proactive. And of course, if you're listening today and you're a real estate investor, you understand a little bit about proactive and reactive. Proactive is, hey, I'm going to get all this done in front. But, reactive is, I just pulled these cabinets off and I got mold everywhere. Oh, my goodness. What am I going to do? Well, one of the beauties about what we do is we can try to get in there and say, hey, you may have a mold issue here. Let's say that rotted out sink base that we're talking about. Well, we're able to, as general contractors, we're able to fix that before we put that back on. You're not going to have to call some mold remediation company out here to come and handle that for you. We'll rip all that drywall off and handle it all for you right there.
Half the cost, half the time, half the mess. Chris Robinson, About Face Cabinetry. Chris, we're kind of closing up this segment. Let me know the best way folks to get in touch with you with some ideas they want to have.
Absolutely. It's About Face Cabinetry because it's all about the face.
Okay.
Everything's about the face. So aboutfacecabinetry.com. And if you're in Hillsborough County, it's 813-777-4088. And if you're in Pinellas or in Pasco, it's 727-773-5007.
He's been doing it quite a while. He's someone you want to bring into your project. Make sure you're not wasting your time or money because he can save you. As he mentions, it's half the cost, half the time, half the mess. Chris Robinson, About Face Cabinetry. Thanks so much for coming in today. We're going to come into a break now. We're going to come back. We got Fred Defelice. He's our water guy, waterscience.us. Of course, we've got sponsors and a feel-good story about a hero who took off his prosthetic leg, jumped into a bay, and saved a man drowning in a car. Really cool story. I'm going to share that with you during our feel-good segment. Don't go anywhere. This is the Consumer Quarterback Show.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
My friends, when choosing a listing agent to sell your home, their track record is critically important. Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rhymes, owners of Platinum MVP Team at Keller Williams Real Estate. They're consistently rated by the MLS in the top 1% of all Tampa Bay realtors, and that's a big deal. Brandon and Lindsay are always among the top realtors in the state. Call them today at 813-750-0550.
Find them at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Selling commercial or residential property? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rhymes. Reach me at 813-670-7372 or platinummvpteam.com.
My name is James DeJerome, and I produce the Consumer Quarterback Show for Brandon Rhymes. The Consumer Quarterback Show is a team, a group of like-minded professionals who partner together to provide our audience sound advice, knowledge, and information to make them wiser consumers. We work with all types of business owners and aggressively promote our local economy. We're currently conducting interviews for our expert contributors. If you own a business or know someone who would benefit from the exposure our show provides, please contact us at 813-750-0550 or online at consumerqb.com.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
That's right. ConsumerQB.com is where you can find all the partners on the Consumer Quarterback Show. You know, Brandon set up the show a couple of years ago because he wanted to bring his network, his real estate professionals that he was working with needed home services. You know, he had plumbers and air conditioning guys, roofers, all different kinds of people that Brandon was working with. He thought, what a great idea if everyone in the Bay could take advantage of the knowledge that these guys are giving me. So I want to encourage you to check out all our partners and all our sponsors, and you can do that at ConsumerQB.com. Our sponsor for this particular segment is Golf Cart Depot. Golf Cart Depot is not just for selling golf carts to golfers. You know, everyone has a golf cart these days. Business, recreation, lots of makes and models over there at Discovery Golf Carts. Easy Go, Star EV, Cushman. They sell new and pre-owned models. You can rent them or buy them. They offer financing and mobile repair. So check out one of their Tampa or Clearwater locations. Check them out at discoverygolfcars.com. Of course, Brandon is a real estate professional. We're going to look at a couple of properties now. Any of the properties that you hear pitched on the Consumer Quarterback Show, you can get in touch with Brandon and the Platinum MVP team because they'd love to bring you out there and show it to you. So Johnny's going to throw a few up. If you're looking to get into the holiday area, can you check it out at 1314 Alternate Highway 19? We've got a commercial building. You know, Brandon has both commercial and residential opportunities available. This one's a business for sale, so it's got a lease back available, huge double lot. Again, it's in the holiday area, 1314 Alternate Highway 19. So commercial opportunities, residential opportunities, and land for building on. Here's a full acre in Newport Richey. we've got a full acre here, 4,000 square feet, 4.4. This is on the waterfront, 6128 Oak Ridge Avenue in Newport Richey. Again, it's a full acre for you. Get in touch with Brandon and the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams. He's got real estate, even in this time of low inventory. He's got everything you got covered. And I'm waiting on Fred Defelice here from, okay, he's going to, oh, is that Fred Muth? Is that you on the phone?
That's Fred Muth on the phone. Is that Freddie Defelice in the background?
I'm getting Fred in here right now. He's just a little late arriving to the studio, so we're going to have him seated here in just a minute. I wanted to bring you on board while you could, because I haven't talked to you in a little while, Fred. What's been going on?
Oh, same thing. Yeah, everything's been fine. I've been listening to the show. You've been hosting very well. I like what you're doing over there.
I'm trying. I need. That's why I keep you around, because all the old time guys with radio chops, I like to have them on when I host, so I don't drown.
Well, don't call me an old guy. Call me a young man that's been around for a while. Please do something for the ego here. Thank you. Yeah. I'm doing fine, man. Our business is booming. I haven't had a chance yet to take a break, and I guess that's coming up someday. I'm not sure when. The more the more this COVID thing goes wild, the more people stay home. The fewer people are going to the community pools, and consequently, they're buying pools. And when they buy a pool, they need a cage. And we, last I checked, we had 100+ on the books, cages, just pool cages only.
Now, typically, you guys don't back up quite that often. That's a unique situation to be 100 deep?
Yes. Since I've been working with Tampa Screens, which going on about 11 years, this is about the busiest that I've seen the industry. The last I recall that it was this busy was back in 03, 04, 05, when the building boom was hot and all the hurricanes come across at the same time. And there was an overload back then.
I can imagine. So you're talking about some new construction and some rescreens, probably.
Well, we're not putting a lot of rescreens on the books right now. We don't have the crews to really handle a lot of rescreen work right now. We're entirely tied up with all new builds, new construction jobs. Yes, sir.
Cool. Well, I wanted to bring you on because I love
industry.
This time of year, man, the weather outside today in particular. I thought, what a great time to go to your screen room. I imagine everybody out there listening would like to check them out, go outside and have a screen room to relax in today.
That's the in-between space, according to Brandon, between the outside and the inside, and that's where we hang out. Yes, the screen rooms are a very, very nice place to go this time of the year. And if you look outside, this is exactly why we live here and why we're not in Philadelphia any longer. Yeah.
You don't think it's like this in Philadelphia right now?
No, ask Freddie Defelice if it's like this in New York. He'll tell you.
Fred just joined us here in the studio. So I got Fred Muth on the phone. I got Fred Defelice from waterscience.us here in the studio with us right here in our Salem Media Group studios. We're talking to Fred a little bit about Tampa Screens. We're going into a break in just about a minute. But I wanted to give you an opportunity to mention to folks, you guys offer lots. People think of a screen room, hey, it's a cage around a pool. Fred can do some really cool things in terms of panoramic views and some different styles that maybe you're not familiar with.
Yeah, the panel view is a really hot item right now. The engineering for that was approved, I'm guessing, about 6 or 7 years back, maybe 8. And this is a product that many homeowners wanted for years. So finally, the engineers got their heads together and they put it together where they allowed this product to be installed where you can have very large openings on the rear of your enclosure. Works very well if you have a beautiful backdrop at the property, and say it backdrops to a nice lake or something, and you have a cage there that's 50 feet long at this point where there's nine panels, and I can take that cage down and go back with one where there's just 3 open panels, for example.
So getting rid of some of those vertical structures.
Yeah, and it really opens it up. Not only do you get rid of the verticals, you get rid of the horizontals as well.
Okay.
So it no longer looks like you're at a jail cell. You're looking out into the water. You're seeing the entire backdrop, which really makes it nice.
Lots of options for everybody out there looking to get a screen room. We're going to visit more with Fred Muth, and as I mentioned, Fred Defelice is right here in our Salem Media Group studios coming up here. And so I wanted to share a little bit with you guys about our feel-good story as well. We talked about a hero here. This guy took off his prosthetic leg and jumped into a bay to save a guy in a car that went into the water. That's really a great story I'm going to share with you in our feel-good segment again, because Brandon wants you to have some positivity in your day. It's not all about the negativity. So don't go anywhere. Check us out online at consumerqb.com.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
This is Fred, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Sounds good to me.
Thanks, Fred.
Sounds good. Okay, in that case, everybody, please stand by. We're going to resume here shortly.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
Do that. Please give Brandon a call for all your real estate needs throughout the Bay Area. We talk about this time of low inventory, but he still has commercial and residential opportunities and even some land to build on. You know, when he put the show together, he got a bunch of great business professionals to come in here and share their stories with you, but he also got a bunch of great sponsors, and one that's been with us for quite a while is Replenish IV Solutions. You know, this time of COVID-19 has made everybody think about their immune system quite a bit. Replenish IV Solutions is definitely in that business of making your immune system stronger. So if you want to feel energized, hydrated, and replenished, they have safe and effective ways to restore your body systems with crucial nutrients, enabling you to perform at optimal levels. You know, if you can't get to one of their locations in the Bay Area, they will come to you. Really cool model. Steve and Lisa Gunnan, longtime friends of the program, Replenish IV Solutions. Check out all their reviews at replenishivsolutions.com. Okay, that's a sponsor for this segment. Our properties that, again, we're going to go through, and any of the properties you hear pitched on the show, please get in touch with Brandon and the Platinum MVP team. They've got real estate opportunities for you. All right, so Johnny's going to throw one up right now in the Tampa area. Say you want to live 4 minutes from the Tampa Yacht Club. Well, I've got an opportunity at 5510 South Elkins Ave to build your own lot. You know, he'd build on your own lot, rather. He's got a zoned residential space for you, about 12 minutes from downtown Tampa. 4 minutes from the Tampa Yacht Club. It's not going to last long. If you want to build in Tampa, 5510 South Elkins Ave, please get in touch with Brandon and the Platinum MVP team. Again, both commercial and residential opportunities available for you. What else you got for me, Johnny? Here's another one for you. And Brandon, so you want to get into the Brandon area, 3405 Gray Whetstone. This is a 4-2 with a 2-car garage on a cul-de-sac. Price has been recently reduced. It's 2,160 square feet. So if you're trying to get into the Brandon area, give Brandon a call. 3405 Gray Whetstone is how he can do that for you. All the properties available on the show through the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams and Brandon Rhymes, the real estate professional of choice here in the Bay Area. Okay, before the break, we were talking with Fred Muth from Tampa Screens and Aluminum. We've been joined in our Salem Media Group studios by Fred Defelice is here now. I want to talk to Fred Defelice for a minute. Fred, tell me about what's going on over there today.
Oh, we got some good news I wanted to share with you.
Oh, good.
Yeah, particularly our business owners may be very interested.
Let's hear about it. What do you got?
Well, you go in people's offices, many times you're going to see a bottle cooler with that 5-gallon jug on top.
That's right.
And there's a lot of things about that people aren't aware of. Mainly heterotrophic bacteria grows in those coolers, mainly because nobody ever cleans them, maintains them, or sterilizes them.
I happen to be familiar with this situation because our locker room, you know, as a football coach, we had a lot of kids coming and going all the time, and they went through so much water, but no one ever took it apart to see what the interior of that apparatus looks like. Man, it gets overgrown.
It's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad.
So those things are located in offices. Sometimes in schools you'll see those kind of things. Yeah. And unless somebody's maintaining that, you're putting yourself in a position where you're getting exposed.
Oh, yeah. And basically, we have a point-of-use water cooler is what it's called.
Okay.
But it has our built-in filtration system.
Oh.
So there's actually a link on our website that has water coolers, and you can see that.
So waterscience.us has a water cooler solution for you rather than the typical bottle on top of your usual distribution apparatus.
And we do that on a rental program as well.
Okay.
So we maintain them, we service them. You don't have to worry about anything. So basically, you know, we like to say what a conventional 5-jug water cooler versus our system. And basically, you have an unsafe method of storing the bottles.
Right.
You see the trucks carrying them around. They're out there in the sun, plastic bottles.
Big plastic bottle full of water, baking in the sun.
It requires heavy lifting to change the jugs. If you're in an office with mostly women.
Yeah, that's your job now.
Yeah, forget it. They cost about an average about $6 for a jug of water.
A 5-gallon plastic bottle.
Most coolers are not serviced and sanitized regularly.
Right.
The bacteria, like I mentioned. Drinking from bottled coolers is really considered unsafe. So our water science cooler, it connects to a cold water line.
Okay.
It has our built-in water purification system.
Okay, so the same organic material that's used to take out all the bad stuff out of your water that Fred is using throughout the house is now in this water cooler. Oh, very cool.
No more storing or handling the 5-gallon jugs. I have photos of people's offices where they just got jugs all over the place.
Lined up, yeah.
They don't know what else to do with them.
They get a delivery once a month of 10 bottles and they just stack them up.
Exactly. Never run out of water. It's an unlimited supply. We do maintain the cooler and sterilize it according to a schedule.
Okay.
And we offer a no-contract month-to-month rental agreement, rental program. It's about $39 a month.
Very affordable, just like all Fred stuff. You know, one of the best things about waterscience.us when we bring Fred on the show is we do realize this is a problem for most people. You know, your tap water, almost no one in this country, let alone the state of Florida, feels comfortable going to their sink and pouring themselves a glass of water and drinking it. It's just not something we do anymore these days. Yeah. So unless you have a solution, this is a problem. And Fred is offering you a great way to save money. I mean, this idea of buying bottled water every time you need water, it's not sustainable.
Not at all.
It's expensive, and you're producing all this plastic waste all the time. It doesn't make any sense at all that we've gotten ourselves in this position. Fred's got a solution for you, and it's not about replacing chemicals with chemicals.
Exactly. Our whole house system is all natural catalytic carbon made from coconut shell.
Imagine that. Organic material.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And our whole house systems are guaranteed or warranted for life, require maintenance every 3 years only.
The way Water Science does business is so awesome. Fred will come right out to your house for free and test your water. So if you're speculating, you're not sure this is for you, whatever, have him come right out and he'll tell you what's in your water. And here's the thing I like about Fred. He'll go through all this stuff and say, oh, no, that's fine. He found minerals in my water. I was a little panicked. He's like, oh, you got this. He said, no, that's good. You want minerals in your water. So he's got knowledge for you. Of course, going back generations as a plumber, Fred's second generation master plumber, knows all about the whole water system in your house. That's why I like the idea that you guys attach your device to the front end. All the water coming in the house is clarified. So we talk a lot about showers and pools, and you don't realize you're absorbing chlorine all the time.
Exactly, yeah.
Talk a little bit about how the plastics and all that stuff, there's not many systems that remove that. Fred's system is one of the unique things for getting rid of that stuff.
Exactly. Our under-counter unit has been certified to remove microplastic particles as well as pharmaceutical drugs and the big thing, fluoride.
Yeah. That blew my mind. He came in here last week and told me, hey, there's fluoride in your water. Well, okay, I assume that was something designed to be positive for your teeth. I have no idea why they would add things to water, but it started adding fluoride, but it's not pharmaceutical grade fluoride. It's not the good kind.
No, it's a waste product from the aluminum and the phosphate industry.
So folks looking for a way to get rid of chemicals that they're generating, why don't we just put them in the water, man? We can say put fluoride in for everybody. Now you added bonus.
Yeah.
Wow, that's such an awful thing. I tell you, I can't believe it. So we have this issue with bottled water. Fred's giving you a solution for that. He's got an idea that keeps you service-free. You're not going out to buy salt all the time, right, Fred?
Exactly. Our system, no salt, do not waste water, do not pollute the environment.
Yeah, that's the thing about the salt solution is you got to continue to buy it all the time. Yeah. And he talks about how it wastes water, and then all that salt stays out there.
Yeah, it's going into it winds up in our waterways, no matter what you do.
And we talk a lot about how the solutions for a lot of municipalities these days is the toilet to tap. So the water coming out of your tap has actually been in your toilet before. Not something you want to think a lot about.
But the great thing is we have the solutions to all the problems.
That's right.
And it's, for example, our financing starts at $19 a month. We have no interest 1-year programs. And for residential, we will also do some rental on those as well.
So a great solution for a problem that you're going to have to solve anyway because it costs more to buy the water. This is a way to save money anyway and save the environment and become healthier.
Yeah.
Win-win.
Yeah, most people really aren't interested about the environment, maybe.
Right.
But they're interested in their bottom line, what they're spending.
Mm-hmm.
And really, if they can get the water that tastes as good as ours, why not?
Especially because you're talking about increased convenience. This isn't one of those things where we're asking you to sacrifice convenience for something that saves you money. This is a saves you money and it's more convenient. Right. So there's, this is something everyone has to look into because you just need safe water. There's nothing else you can't go along without it. That's for sure.
Well, we talked about our immune system always, right?
That's right.
And your sponsor, Replenish IV
Yeah.
Solutions.
Yeah.
We're all on the same page with that.
Mm-hmm.
I do work with holistic doctors, and they recommend me to all their patients. It's so vital.
Yeah, we talk about
putting
alkalinity,
the right water.
right? Alkaline versus acidity in your system.
Yeah. Our alkaline water system under counter is incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, there's documentation on all this stuff. You could look it up, look up alkaline water, the benefits. Now, I'm not talking about these machines that make it by using an electrical impulse.
Mm-hmm.
They're sold as an MLM, multi-level marketing. They're like $4,000. I mean, ridiculous.
And they claim to...
They make the water alkaline.
Okay, they change the alkalinity.
Yeah.
I got you.
But our system actually makes it naturally the way Mother Nature would make it.
Can't go wrong.
That's where we are.
Can't go wrong with waterscience.us. He's Fred Defelice. He comes on, does a great job for us. I know that our business partners on the show work together, and it happens that Fred Muth and Fred Defelice have done business with one another. Is that correct?
Oh, God, yeah. We go back at least 15 years, maybe more.
I think 20, Freddie.
I think you're right.
So wait a minute. Who bought you bought a screen room or a pool cage?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
And then my brother-in-law, and then everybody else that we talked to.
How'd that work out for you, Fred?
Well, it was great. It was the kind of experience that I'll never forget, and I enjoyed. When I met with Freddie had a lot on the ball. You know, he knew construction. He knew a lot of things. And when I met with him, he took the reins. He really was telling me how he's going to do what and this and that and the other. And I said to myself, I can work with this guy. This guy knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
So we went through his first project together, which was sort of unusual. There was some concrete and elevation things, and he was talking about running plumbing and putting in a spa and had to be right. And I said, Freddie, you just keep talking. We're going to make it right. And then we contracted to work together. And, throughout the project, I was there from time to time. And he was a very happy man, which, I figured he would be.
Right.
But then he gave me, I guess, 2 or 3 others, Freddie, that we worked on.
Oh, at least that.
Friends and neighbors, 5 or 6, I don't know how many. My memory, it fails me after, 20-some-odd years, all the jobs we write. But every job that I worked with Fred was fantastic. And I knew that Fred really knew what he was talking about with construction and plumbing. Yeah. So anything Freddie tells you about his product, you better believe it.
Yeah, I tell you, both you guys do a great job on the show. I wanted to bring Fred on. Fred Muth has stories about, building these pool cages. Everyone's in a hurry. They want to get this thing built. Fred's going to tell you about the engineering behind this because he's not going to pour a concrete slab and create a flooding situation or a place where water runoff is going to be a problem for you. And in our state, in our city, specifically in parts of Tampa, South Tampa, you better account for where every drop of water is going because you just can't afford to get further under.
That's a fact. I took a ride through South Tampa a few days before the storm hit last week, and it was still, before the storm hits, there was flood issues.
Right.
So I didn't even want to go near the place after the storm hit. I have friends that live down there. They basically can't drive their cars, for a couple of days after the storm hits. It's so close to sea level, elevations are low, and then there's really nowhere for the water to go in the right place. In our industry, there's a lot of my competitors that complain a lot about what the city of Tampa puts you through when you sell a project.
Permitted and whatnot.
I'll admit there's a lot of legwork that you have to do based on the fact that they don't want you to overcrowd the green space. And I respect that. And it's really not a very difficult, proposition to put it together and then calculate how much green space is going to be left. Because if you don't have the green space that they require, you can't sell the job. You cannot push the job.
Yeah.
And of course, I go to homeowners that they want the entire backyard full of concrete.
Right.
Well, they came from that north. You know what that is, Freddie?
Yeah, I do.
Everybody had a slab and a patio, and nobody wanted grass up there. Well, a lot of people they don't want that down here, but unfortunately, you've got to have the green space. And if you pour a glass of water out on the sidewalk, it runs away. It's going to go somewhere else. And that's exactly what happens with every project that we do. But more so in South Tampa is the concern based on the fact that there's absolutely nowhere for that extra water to go in any type of a rainstorm.
Well, that's
so I can appreciate that. And then, of course, the engineering goes in, on the cage and the footer and this and that and the other. That's all different than what I'm talking about now regarding green space, etc. But then the other concern is the trees. They don't want you to get too close to a tree, and I can appreciate that. In some cases, homeowners will want you to cut the roots out of the oak tree that stands 100 feet in the air, and the roots are between the tree and the house. I'm not cutting your roots out because now I'm asking that tree to fall on your house. I'm taking the legs out of the tree.
That's right.
And it happens. And years ago it was done, and we watched the trees come down and hit the structures. So there's all of this that has to be considered when you sell a project.
This is why you hire a professional. We talk a lot about professionals on the show. You think you're going to DIY a project, and next thing you know, you create a mess for yourself. And so Fred Muth has years of experience. He sees what's going to happen ahead of time. So you want to rely on somebody who has that vision that tells you, hey, if we put this here, here's how the water's going to percolate. We want to make sure we're in compliance with everything and give you the product that you want in a way that's convenient. And these guys have a track record. Fred, 30 years worth?
I'm going on 30 years in this industry. And I'll tell you what else is great is everybody with Tampa Screens, we all think alike. So we don't have to keep going over things back and forth about these concerns. Everybody's on the same page with every project. That makes it great for the homeowner. And that makes it a lot easier for a guy like me who's in between.
That's right. Saves time for everybody, makes the project run smoother. All right, we got Fred Defelice and Fred Muth on the phone. We're going to take a break now. When we come back, I got your feel-good story, and we got more sponsors, more properties to talk about. Don't go anywhere. We have Fred Muth from Tampa Screens, Fred Defelice, Water Science US, some great information for you, and, of course, our feel-good story about the gentleman who jumped in the bay to save somebody drowning in their car. Don't go anywhere. This is the Consumer Quarterback Show.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
This is Diane Vance with Fairway Independent Mortgage, a member of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Please give me a call for any of your mortgage needs. We do all sorts of loans. If you would like information on a mortgage, you can text me or call me at 727-647-8199. I will take care of all your mortgage needs. Go to my website at dianevance.com.
Ian Beckles here with my man Brandon Rhymes, a.k.a. the real estate quarterback. Brandon, what's happening with the market?
Thanks, Ian. We are in a low inventory market, so any of our listeners are homeowners and would like a free comparable market analysis or a 2.5% listing, we will honor this for the first 3 listeners who call or text in 813-773-1253. Free CMA and a 2.5% real estate listing at 813-773-1253. Check out consumerqb.com. Selling commercial or residential property? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rhymes. Reach me at 813-670-7372 or platinummvpteam.com.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
That's right. Consumerqb.com has lots of great information. It has our partners, of course, all the folks that come on the show and take time out of their day to provide that information and give you that knowledge to make your dollar go farther in the marketplace. In addition to our great sponsors, sponsor for this segment is Brothers Easy Moving. You know, Brothers Easy Moving became the official moving company of the Consumer Quarterback Show after moving Brandon himself. These guys did such a great job. Brandon offered them the position. We started negotiating. They did such a great job. They've become the moving professional for us. Of course, as as a real estate professional, Brandon has a need for moving company all the time. These guys do local or long distance. Angie's List Super Service Award winners. Check out all their 5-star reviews. Brothers Easy Moving. All right, we got some real estate properties for you. One last property I want to show you before we go back to our guests. And anytime you hear property pitched on the Consumer Quarterback Show, you get in touch with Brandon. He'll take you out there. This one's in Palm Harbor. This is a 5.5 with a 3-car garage at 4467 Glenbrook Lane. Again, if you want to get into the Palm Harbor area, 5.5 with a 3-car garage, granite countertops, new stainless, a 1-year-old roof, really sharp-looking property in Palm Harbor. 4467 Glenbrook Lane. Get in touch with Brandon and the Platinum MVP team. He's still got real estate for you, even in this time of low inventory. Now, when he started the Consumer Quarterback Show, in addition to providing great information from our partners, he wanted to make sure we made a difference in your day, try to cheer you up a little bit in case you're stuck in all the negativity that's going on in the news and social media all day. So we created the Feel Good segment. And I want to give you a little shout out. Brandon makes me do the feel good story, and I'm happy to do it for him because we got a story about a hero here today that took off a prosthetic leg, saved a guy's life as he was drowning in a bay. So a New Jersey man is being held as a hero for saving a man from sinking car in Newark, New Jersey. On Tuesday afternoon, Anthony Capuano, 29 years old, had just finished a workout in the park when he heard screaming. A group of about 20 bystanders had gathered on the shore watching a car sinking into the bay. Capuano, who happens to be a lifeguard and a swim coach, didn't hesitate to jump in, but he first had to take off his prosthetic leg. How about that? So 11 years ago, Capuano was struck by a train. First responders saved his life, but it did cost him his leg. He was like, I can't swim. The gentleman screaming, I can't swim, I can't swim. Capuano said, it's okay, I'm a lifeguard. Capuano helped the victim to safety, pulled him onto dry land. He said, it's crazy. I got him out at the last second. It was that moment when a car goes into a body of water where all the air releases and the car just sinks. That's right when he was able to pull the guy out. After an investigation, authorities said it was determined that while pulling over to answer a call and attempting to park, the driver lost control and ended up in the bay. So a lifeguard with a prosthetic leg jumps in, saves a guy's life, and that's the kind of feel-good story we want to emphasize here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, back to our guests. Fred Defelice, waterscience.us. Fred, we're coming to the end of the show. What can we do to get folks out there to get clean water?
Well, the best thing is get a hold of me.
Yeah.
Visit my website. It's real easy. It's waterscience.us.
That's right.
And what we're doing, we're extending the for the Veterans Holiday.
Okay.
Right. Great discounts for all our veterans. First responders, those are in the military serving now.
Okay.
And we've added the crossing guard
All
for
right.
the school crossing guards. And we offering, we want you to do is take the bottled water challenge.
That's right.
All right. Figure out what you're spending. If you're buying bottled water for your home or you're buying bottled water for your office, just analyze that. I know people spending $50, $60 a month on bottled water.
That's right.
You can own our system for starting at $19 a month.
I find a lot of people realize they're cooking with the water from the tap without thinking that they're taking that in. They think, well, I'm not drinking it directly. I'm just cooking with it.
Exactly.
Same thing.
It's really bad.
Yeah. So Fred's got solutions for you, very affordable solutions. And again, they're organic. He's not loading you up with chemicals to try to treat your water.
Yep.
So great deal. And again, the bottled water challenge, if you think about it, again, how much are you spending just on bottled water? And if you're cooking with it, then you really take issue with it. Take a look at it because it adds up fast. Okay, Fred Muth, we got about a minute left, Freddie. What do you want to talk about? How can folks get in touch with you?
I think the easiest and the best thing to do is just call the office, 813-960-7064. Leave a message. If it's after hours, they call back the next day, and we set up the appointment, and we move forward with it. It works out very, very well. Check our website. You can see a lot of our installations, www.tampascreensanaluminum.com. And then, of course, go on Google and look at some of our reviews. I'm amazed at how many times my name comes up in the reviews, and it's 98% positive. That's pretty good, you know?
I knew there was. I was going to say, I bet they are saying a lot about Fred in the reviews.
we had one go really bad one time because the weather got in our way, and we fixed it. Everything was fixed, and this homeowner this is maybe 15 paragraphs, the entire problem from bad to worse to better to great.
Wow.
And it's just an amazing review, and all of our names are mentioned. So I like that.
Well, that's what you want. You want to do business with
icing on the cake.
You want to do business with professionals that care enough to fix any problem. Not everyone's perfect. There might be a problem. As long as they stand by it and fix it, that's exactly what you're looking for.
That's right, and it's Murphy's Law. It's out there. Freddie Defelice knows about it. Murphy's Law is there every day, buddy. So when you go out and you bid a job, you have to figure whether you're going to put the Murphy's Law variable in there or the perfect world scenario variable. It's hard to do.
Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum, longtime friend of the show. Fred Defelice, waterscience.us. I want to thank them both for being on the show today. We had Chris Robinson from About Face Cabinetry start the show. He has some great options for you, ways you can save money when you're trying to get a new kitchen, new bath look. He'll come in and do that for you. He's got great experience as a GC in our area. I want to thank Brandon for giving me the opportunity to sit in his chair today and host the show. I really feel like the show is a great value for all the consumers out in the Bay, so please check us out. If you're a smart TV owner, you can find us by searching Binge TV Networks. Of course, as I mentioned, our live stream, YouTube, Periscope, Facebook. We got the 102.5 replay on Sunday afternoon. So Brandon has gone out of his way to bring this value to you. I want to thank him for that. I want to encourage him to get better and get back here as soon as you can. And check us out online at consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for The Consumer Quarterback Show.